Well, hi, everyone. I'm Daniel Williams, Senior Editor at MGMA and host of the MGMA Podcast Network. Welcome back. It's been a long break here, so it's really good to be back here in front of y'all. So today we're going to welcome Frank Harrington to the show. And Frank is Senior Director of Sales at MGMA BestPrice. And MGMA BestPrice is a member benefits partner with MGMA, and it's great to have Frank on here with us. So Frank, first, I just want to welcome you to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for that warm introduction.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a lot about MGMA BestPrice and how you work with MGMA members and the benefits that are available to them. Before we do that, let's just get to know you a little bit better. What would you like to share? Any career highlights or anything else you might want to share about yourself?
Sure. Well, I'm based in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been in the medical device business for about 20 years, predominantly working with medical device manufacturers, mostly orthopedic and ENT companies. So the GPO world is newer to me, but I've had a number of years of experience, working in this space.
Okay. So let's get to the easy question here then. What is MGMA BestPrice? Some of our listeners may be wondering, and some may have seen that name on the MGMA website and wanted to know more about it. So share with us.
Sure, absolutely. Well, MGMA BestPrice is the exclusive group purchasing organization, or GPO, of MGMA members, leveraging contract portfolios for the nation's most powerful GPO health trust. MGMA BestPrice provides medical practices with the industry's best price on medical, surgical, pharmaceutical, and purchase services.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. So you mentioned another term there that maybe some of our MGMA listeners may be scratching their head about, but group purchasing organizations, or GPOs. Tell us a little bit about those. What is a GPO?
Absolutely. So a group purchasing organization leverages the collective buying power of its members to enhance purchasing efficiency and to reduce costs. So for example, a medical practice manager might save thousands annually on essentials like gloves, syringes, pharmaceuticals by joining a GPO than negotiating some of those agreements on their own.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. So let's look a little bit deeper into that. So what kind of organizations typically benefit from being part of MGMA Best Practice, and does it work for both the independent provider offices and those larger groups that are out there as well?
So MGMA BestPrice benefits large and small organizations. So whether you're a small community provider or part of a larger group like ambulatory surgery center or an LTAC, a GPO enhances a lot of the operational efficiencies of either one of those organizations, helping to reduce costs and improve efficiency.
Thanks for sharing that. So for everybody, we really want to share with you a little bit about those membership details, membership benefits that are available to MGMA members. That's really a goal of MGMA. If you talk to some of those member engagement folks that y'all work with, if you talk to some people in our customer service office, we really want to make sure that you know the benefits that are available for you as an MGMA member. So let's get to those, Frank. Is there a cost to join MGMA BestPrice?
You can join MGMA BestPrice for free. There is no cost and there are no membership fees. There's no risk to join. We can sign you up in 2 minutes and ensure that you're receiving some of the lower pricing from the very beginning.
Okay. So let's look at the products and services that are available to member access for MGMA BestPrice. Walk us through that. What is available out there?
Yeah, so MGMA BestPrice provides contract pricing for medical, pharmaceutical, surgical equipment, office supplies, IT products, travel services, shipping, shredding, rental cars, and more. It helps the organization to reduce costs and improve operational efficiency.
All right. Well, thanks. It sounds like there are a lot of savings opportunities out there. You kind of had me
Absolutely.
you had me at shredding. I was thinking, wow.
Shredding, that's right.
Because we just got a lot of snow here in Denver, so people are up shredding, so to speak, in the mountains.
Yes.
I am staying warm down here in Denver, but that is great. So give us some examples, and you provided some examples of what the products or services might be where they can get that benefit. But what are examples of groups that use your GPO?
Yeah, so we work with all sorts of different groups, from primary care to specialty groups, as well as ambulatory surgery centers. So if you look at the category of primary care, obviously that's pediatrics, family medicine, general practice, women's health. When we move into the specialty groups, we work with a lot of different cardiology groups, orthopedics, podiatry, dermatology, et cetera, as well as ambulatory surgery centers, outpatient surgery centers, and plastic surgeries.
Okay. So we want to be a full range information bank for our MGMA listeners today. So let's talk about the benefits and savings. Can you give us an example of how a medical practice might save by joining? What are some of those opportunities there?
Absolutely. So by joining MGMA BestPrice, medical practices can save up to 20% on essential products and services. Some of those products and services are obviously medical supplies or purchase services. You know, the best part about this program is that the practice they don't need to change the distribution representative that they work with, and they don't have to change their ordering process. Through our implementation and onboarding process, we work with practices to ensure they're accessing the lower price from the very beginning.
Do you have anything else you want to share with us about any member survey or any other information out there?
No, that's a great observation. You know, I think recently MGMA performed a member survey, and members are also interested in non-clinical services such as purchase services. So through MGMA BestPrice, members have contracted pricing for purchase services such as office supplies, furniture, break room supplies, food buys, waste management, and much more. Interpretive services as well. I left that one out. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
That's an important one for a lot of smaller practices.
Okay, thanks for sharing that one. Now, there might be discounts that our MGMA members hear about out there in the universe, but what's unique about MGMA BestPrice for these MGMA members?
You know, what's unique about MGMA BestPrice is that, you know, we leverage health trust contracts to bring MGMA BestPrice members some of the lowest pricing in the country. You know, we are also a committed model, which means we're your only GPO. And so whether you're a large or small organization, we will work with you to ensure you're accessing the lowest pricing. We provide resources to enhance, your supply chain efficiency and your operations as well.
As far as customer service goes, what might our MGMA members expect to receive in working with MGMA BestPrice?
When an MGA member joins the MGMA BestPrice GPO, they will be assigned a customer account manager from the start, and that person will reach out to them immediately and answer any questions or concerns that they will have. They'll hold their hand through the entire implementation and onboarding process.
You know, if you know anything about the MGMA members, they are always looking at that data. They're always looking at what's the ROI here. So how do they look at and determine how much they're saving through MGMA BestPrice?
That's a great question. So if you're on the fence about joining MGMA BestPrice, the best thing to do is to reach out to one of the representatives at MGMA BestPrice, and we can perform a cost study analysis for the prospective member. We will look at the supplies and services that they're currently purchasing, and we will add in the MGMA BestPrice contracted pricing to that. We'll perform that analysis and provide a summary savings to the prospective member, and then they can make a decision about what's best for their practice or organization.
Well, thanks for that, Frank. So now that we're thinking about it, how does the cost study process work?
Through MGMA BestPrice, we will review a facility's spend on their med-surg as well as their purchase services, and we will perform an analysis and make a recommendation. We provide that recommendation to you if you're on the fence so that you can decide if MGMA BestPrice is the right fit for you.
Okay. Thanks for that. So we've gone over kind of the nuts and bolts of what it is, but let's talk about it from what it looks like from a success story. So do you have any member organizations or anyone else you want to share with us who maybe has had success with MGMA BestPrice and what that looks like?
Sure. I think an example that comes to mind is Indiana Internal Medicine Consultants. They are an MGMA BestPrice member, and we expect to save them probably close to $1 million over the next 7 years.
Wow.
And in addition to that, we've saved MGMA BestPrice members over $14 million last year. So, the important thing to remember is that MGMA BestPrice works for organizations that are small and large. It doesn't matter the size of the organization, you're going to get the same price.
Okay. So as we're closing out here today, we really do want to provide our listeners right now to, I guess, have a call to action so they will know where to go if they've been interested in what you've been talking about today as far as MGMA BestPrice is concerned. So what would you share with them? How can they get in touch with you? What are the steps there?
Yeah, I think the simplest thing to do is to call our dedicated line at 844-234-6462 or go to mgmabestprice.org. You can sign up immediately. If you're on the fence, you can request a cost study and we will reach out to you immediately. I think the last thing I would say is that if you're listening to this podcast and you're not the decision maker, please get this into the hands of the person that is. We'll be here to work with you and help you to evaluate a committed GPO model. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Well, Frank, I want to thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. That is going to do it for this episode. We have been talking to Frank Harrington. He is the Senior Director of Sales of MGMA BestPrice, and he's been talking about all the benefits that are available to MGMA members. I know he provided a lot of information there. What we're going to do in the episode show notes and in an article on MGMA.com, we're going to provide all that information. You can click right through. You will have a phone number to dial right away and have someone address your questions about MGMA BestPrice. So until then, thank you all for being MGMA podcast listeners.